Welcome in, everyone, to Lively Lewis Stories.
That's right, we're back with even more awesome adventures with Levi and Ivy.
Set your storytime meter to fun and get ready to join the Lively Lewis crew.
All you need is your imagination and...
Off we go! I can't wait to see where our story takes us today.
Have you ever wanted to get more Lively Lewis in your life?
Well, we've got you covered.
Grab an adult and zoom over to livelylewisshop.com.
Or just click on the link in our show notes.
Enough about that. Let's get to today's super Lively Lewis story.
27, 28, 29, 30, counted Levi as he sat on the floor in his room counting a pile of money. Just a little bit more and I'll be able to get the new Striker Extreme Soccer video game. It was the coolest new game that Levi had just had to have, and he had been focused on it ever since he saw the commercial for it last month. It was set to be released at the video game store in town in just about a week, and he wanted to be the first in line to buy it. Levi had come up with a plan to do extra chores around the house to earn money so he could buy the game himself. He even started working at the local animal shelter a few times a week after school to earn more money faster. He was in charge of feeding dogs, playing with puppies, and helping to clean up. Levi loved animals, so it wasn't like work at all. He was so happy to do it and knew that every afternoon he helped out there was a little closer to getting his new Striker Extreme Soccer video game. Levi, are you counting your money again? Asked Ivy as she stood in the doorway of her brother's bedroom. It's still going to be $30, no matter how many times you count it. I know that, Ivy. I'm just really excited about the soccer video game, answered Levi, putting his money back in an old shoebox and sliding it under his bed. Just think, in another week, I'll be playing soccer against some of the greatest players around. Playing soccer or sitting on the couch playing a video game, giggled Ivy. Either way, it'll be amazing, and I can't wait, replied Levi. I just need another 30, and I'll be playing Striker Extreme Soccer all day long. All day long? Asked Ivy. What about all your chores and helping out at the animal shelter? Oh, I won't have to do those things anymore, replied Levi, pretending to dribble a soccer ball around his room. I'm just doing all of this to earn the money to get my video game. I really thought you were going to keep helping out at the animal shelter, said Ivy, sounding very surprised. I thought you really liked it there. I was even going to see if I could help out there because it looked like so much fun. It is fun, Ivy, and I love it there, but once I get my new video game, I'm going to need lots of time to play it so I can really get good at it, answered Levi. Which means I won't have time for extra chores or the animal shelter anymore. Then Levi ran out of his room yelling, "Goal!" as he made his way down the hallway. He certainly was excited about the new video game, but Ivy didn't quite understand it all. If Levi loved working at the animal shelter and helping around the house, why would he just stop after he earned the money for his new game? Even though Levi thought that's how it would end up, he would soon find out that money and cool soccer video games aren't the most important things in life. The feeling you get from helping others can be even cooler. The next day, Levi ate a quick snack after school before heading off to the animal shelter. Levi, do you think I could tag along with you today? Asked Ivy. You know how much I love animals. That sounds like a great idea, Ivy, answered Levi. They're always looking for extra help. Levi and Ivy walked down the street and arrived at the animal shelter, ready to work. Levi introduced Ivy to Bonnie. She ran the shelter and was the one who told Levi what he would be doing each day. Hi, Levi. It's great to see you again. And so nice to meet you, Ivy, said Bonnie. Good to see you too, Bonnie, called out Levi as he ran off towards the back of the shelter. I'm going to get started feeding the big dogs, and I'll be right back. Thank you, Levi, called out Bonnie. And thank you, Ivy, for helping out today. If you'll be doing the same work as Levi, I can pay you the same as well, which is $5. Does that sound good? That's okay, Bonnie, answered Ivy with a big smile as the little puppy ran up to her and started tugging at her pants. I don't need any money. I love animals, and I'm just here to help wherever I can. That's so kind of you, said Bonnie. I'll put your money toward our animal shelter remodel fund. How does that sound? That sounds great, said Ivy with a confused look on her face. But what's an animal shelter remodel fund? That's just a fancy way of saying we're raising money to make some nice additions to the shelter that will help all the animals here, said Bonnie. Yes, definitely put the money you would have paid me in there, please, said Ivy. Bonnie thanked Ivy again and walked over to where Levi was wrestling with a giant bag of dog food. "Here, let me help you with that," said Bonnie, helping Levi to lift the bag and pour some of the food out into the plastic bowls. "Thank you, Bonnie," said Levi. "You know, with a few more chores around my house and a few more days helping at the animal shelter, I'll have enough money to buy my new video game. I'm so excited." "That's great, Levi," answered Bonnie. "I'm really proud of you that you're working so hard to earn the money yourself. And the more you work here, the more you can earn to get other cool things." "Actually, I think once I've earned the money for my video game, I won't be coming back to the shelter as often to work," said Levi as he placed the food bowls in front of some very hungry dogs. "Oh," said Bonnie, sounding a bit confused. "I thought I could count on you to be here to help with the big shelter remodel fundraising event at the end of the month. I think I'll be able to stop by for a bit, but by then I'll definitely have my video game and we'll be playing that a lot," answered Levi. "Now, did you want me to feed the small dogs now or wait?" I guess you can feed them now," said Bonnie, a little surprised to know that Levi would be leaving in just another week or so. She was getting used to having him around because he was such a big help. Ivy could tell something was wrong when Bonnie's cheery mood changed. That's when she suggested that she could fill in for Levi after he left. "I'd be happy to work for free," Ivy told Bonnie. "I bet I can even get some friends to help out as well." "Wow, that would be great," said Bonnie. "Thank you, Ivy. I can tell that you're a very caring person with a good heart." Bonnie then gave Ivy a little tour around the animal shelter, telling her about some of the things that she would be helping with and introducing her to the animals there. After a couple of hours, Levi and Ivy's mom stopped by to pick them up. "Thank you as always for all your help, Levi," said Bonnie, paying Levi his $5. "Thank you, Bonnie," said Levi as he excitedly put the money into his pocket. "We're going to miss you around here when you leave next week," Bonnie added. "Leave next week?" asked Levi's mom, sounding a bit confused. "But I thought you loved working at the animal shelter, Levi." "I do, Mom, but I'll have earned all the money I need to buy my video game, so I won't need to help out here anymore," said Levi. "That's not really how it works. You won't be playing that soccer video game all the time," said his mom. "But we can talk more about this at home." "And thank you, Ivy. It was so great to meet you today," said Bonnie with a smile. "I'll put your $5 in the animal shelter's remodel fund, just like we talked about." "Yes, please," answered Ivy. "We'll see you tomorrow." And with that, Levi, Ivy, and their mom headed home. Ivy's mom told her how nice she thought it was that Ivy gave her money to the animal shelter fundraiser. She was happy that her daughter was volunteering her time for such a good cause. Meanwhile, Levi was upstairs in his room adding the $5 he made that day to his Striker Extreme Soccer video game fund. Once he was done counting up his new total, he ran downstairs to ask his mom if there were any chores she needed done around the house. "Thank you for asking, Levi," answered his mom. "If you could rake the backyard, that would be great. Then when your dad gets home, you can help him put all the leaves into bags." "I'm on it, Mom," called out Levi as he started to run for the back door. "I'll have my new video game in no time." "You're such a big help around the house," said his mom. "I'm starting a painting project next week, and I will really need your help to get the room ready." Levi stopped in his tracks and spun around. "Sorry, Mom, but by next week, I'll have earned all the money I need for my video game, so I won't be looking to do extra chores," said Levi. He then grabbed his sunglasses off the kitchen counter and walked outside. "So Levi's quitting the animal shelter and quitting extra chores once he gets that video game?" thought Levi's mom to herself. "I'll have to talk with him about that." She walked outside with Ivy close behind. "Levi, can you come over here?" she called. "Do you have something else for me to do after I'm done raking the leaves?" asked Levi as he ran over. "The sooner I make more money, the sooner I'll be playing Striker Extreme Soccer." "Yeah, about that," began his mom. "I think it's great that you're choosing to work hard to earn money to buy your game yourself. But stopping immediately after you've gotten enough money just doesn't seem right. You've been a big help around here, and I'll be sad to see you stop lending a hand. Also, the shelter needs you. Bonnie and those dogs and puppies depend on you now. Won't it feel strange to not help out anymore?" Levi looked down at the ground. He knew his mom was right. He loved the feeling he got from helping out his parents, Bonnie, and all those dogs and puppies. But how could he have time to help out at the shelter, do extra chores, and play Striker Extreme Soccer? He was feeling confused about his decision. He told his mom he needed some time to think about it and went back to raking the leaves. The next day after school, Levi and Ivy headed off to the animal shelter. The dogs and the puppies all barked happily and jumped around excitedly as Levi walked in. He was a friend now. He had gained all of the animals' trust, and they loved seeing him. "Wow, I don't even think I get that nice of a reaction when I walk in," laughed Bonnie. "These buddies are really going to miss you when you leave next week." Levi didn't say a word. He just looked around at all the dogs and puppies as they barked hello. Ivy ran over to one of the dogs and gave her a big hug. "Time to play outside," she said as Bonnie opened the outside door and the dogs ran out into a fenced-in grassy area. "Are you coming with us?" Ivy asked Levi. "Yep, I'll be out in just a minute," said Levi as he looked at the donation box for the animal shelter remodel fund. He really did love working at the animal shelter, and he loved helping his parents at home. The more he thought about what his mom had said and how the dogs and puppies relied on him and how she really appreciated all he did at home, he knew what he had to do. Until that moment, Levi was only thinking about making money, not making others happy. He was letting the Striker Extreme Soccer video game make his decisions for him when he should have been letting his heart lead the way. Levi helped at the animal shelter that day as he always did. He got his $5 from Bonnie before he left and walked home with his mom and Ivy. Then he ran up to his room. "I bet he's counting his video game money again," said Ivy as she sat down to start her homework. "And that's okay," said Ivy's mom. "He's excited about his new video game, and he's working really hard to get it. I just wish he would see that he shouldn't quit the animal shelter after he gets the money for the game. The video game may be cool, but it will never be as rewarding as helping others." Just then, Levi walked into the living room and asked if his mom could please take him back to the animal shelter. "Why, did you forget something there?" she asked. "No, actually, I have something I should have left there a while ago," he said. That's when Levi explained to his mom that he wanted to donate some of the money from his video game fund to the animal shelter remodel fund. "I'm going to start donating half of the money that Bonnie gives me to the animal shelter," Levi began. "I love that place, and after thinking about what you and Bonnie said, I know the right thing to do is to support all those dogs and puppies that count on me and the great work that Bonnie is doing there." "Wow, Levi, that's so nice of you," said Ivy, giving her brother a big hug. "I have to thank you too, Ivy," said Levi. "Seeing you donate your money to the animal shelter was really cool. Now I see that I can help others and save money to get my video game. Even if it takes more time to reach my goal, the feeling I get from helping at the animal shelter and helping around here, Mom, is one that I don't want to lose." Levi then told his mom that she didn't need to give him anything anymore to help out around the house. He was happy to do it for free. And even after he earned enough money at the animal shelter, he decided that he would definitely keep working there. Levi's mom could have not been prouder with his decision and walked Levi and Ivy to the animal shelter that afternoon. Once he arrived, Levi told Bonnie everything he had told his mom. She was so excited to hear the news and so appreciative of Levi's donation to the animal shelter remodel. That day, Levi learned that doing the right thing may make you wait longer to get the new video game you want, but in the long run, it's the right choice because helping others makes you a winner on and off the soccer field. Ivy ran around the house carrying a colorful flower clipboard and a marker in her hand. She had been working on something all day, and everyone was pretty sure they knew what it was. "My birthday!" exclaimed Ivy as she jotted down notes on her clipboard. "Will be the best birthday ever!" Levi just sat on the couch and watched as his sister drew up a plan for what her birthday party would look like. Right down to the tiniest detail, like where the napkins would go and where each friend would sit when they watched her open her presents. "Zeta and Lyla have to sit right up front," said Ivy with a smile. "They already requested front row seating so they could see all the cool stuff I get." "Ivy, don't you think you're going a little overboard planning out your party?" asked Levi as he looked at the book on the couch. "Isn't the most important thing that all your friends are together, everyone's happy, and everyone is having a good time? You don't need to plan out every single second." "Yes, Levi, you're right," said Ivy. "And for everyone to be happy and have a good time, my party has to go perfectly. That's why I'm making these notes and will work with Mom to make sure this party will be unforgettable." Ivy then called her mom to the dining room to discuss all of her plans. "So I was thinking the pony rides could start at noon, and then we could have a bounce house bouncing contest, and then a supersized sundaes, and then presents, and then the concert can start, and then..." But before Ivy could finish her description of the greatest birthday party ever, her mom had to stop her. Ivy, I know you're super excited about your party, began her mom. Super duper excited, smiled Ivy. But we can't have all of those things. It's just too much, said her mom. Isn't the most important thing that your friends are together, everyone's happy, and everyone is having a good time? You don't need to plan out every single second. You've been talking to Levi, haven't you? Replied Ivy in a huff. Fine, I guess I can cut out some things, but I need to have a giraffe here and we need to find a way to make an ice rink in the backyard. But Ivy, it's July, said her mom, sounding like she was losing her patience. Please don't worry, your birthday will be out of this world. Oh, exclaimed Ivy. Good idea, Mom. We could have an intergalactic neon glow-in-the-dark dance party. Ivy ran off, still holding her clipboard, adding to it as she went. The next day at school, Ivy was really excited to talk with her friends about her party and see if they had any other ideas she could add to the list. How about we have a water slide, but instead of water, it's slime, suggested Zeta. I like it, said Ivy, adding it to the list on her clipboard. How about a chocolate fountain, suggested Victoria. Too small, and everyone has one of those at their parties, but good thought, replied Ivy. I wasn't finished, said Victoria. How about a chocolate fountain the size of a real fountain and we can dip marshmallows in it the size of bowling balls? I love it, shouted Ivy. The girls continued to talk when suddenly Ivy asked where Lyla was. I didn't see her on the bus, so I guess she's out again today, said Zeta. Ivy had been so busy planning her birthday party that she didn't really notice how many days Lyla had been absent until she began to talk more with her friends. Yeah, Lyla hasn't been here since last week, said Victoria as she got ready to head inside since recess was almost over. But it's Friday, said Ivy, stepping out of the party planning bubble. That means she's been out all week. Ivy sounded a little concerned, and for the first time in a long time, she started thinking of something other than her birthday party. Ivy ran inside at the end of recess and asked her teacher when Lyla was coming back and why she'd been out of school for so long. Ivy's teacher said she couldn't discuss that with her and suggested she reach out to her friend after school. Ivy sat down at her desk and couldn't focus on anything else for the rest of the day. As soon as she got home, she ran right to her mom and told her about Lyla. She's been absent for a week, Mom. That's not good, said Ivy. I hope she's not super sick. But what if she is and can't make it to my party next week? Ivy, I think we have more important things to think about than your party, said Ivy's mom. I'll call over to Lila's house and see what's going on. Ivy watched as her mom called Lila's mom. They had a long conversation and Ivy's mom kept saying things like, let us know how we can help and call me anytime. When she finished on the phone, Ivy's mom told Ivy to come sit with her. So I figured out what's been going on, began Ivy's mom. Lila's mom just had surgery and it's taking her longer than she thought to get back on her feet. Lila's dad has been really busy at work and can't stay home to help her during the day, so Lila's been helping out. That's why she hasn't been at school. Oh no, replied Ivy. I'm really sorry to hear that. Imagine all the classwork and homework she'll have to make up from this week. Actually, Lyla is all caught up, said Ivy's mom. Her mom called your teacher at the beginning of the week and she's been sending all her work home for Lyla to complete. I wish I had known. I could have helped her out. The new math lesson we just started is kind of confusing, said Ivy. Well, I think the reason you didn't know is because you didn't reach out to Lyla after she had been out for a couple of days, started her mom. I think the only thing you were thinking about was your birthday party. I guess you're right, said Ivy. And speaking of my party, did Lila's mom say she could still come? I'm sure Lyla won't want to miss the giant chocolate fountain. That was a new suggestion by Victoria today. Ivy's mom just looked at her with a confused expression on her face. Ivy, we're not talking about your party anymore, she said. We're focusing on Lyla and her family right now, and you're going to help me make something to take over there for them to have for dinner tonight. What's Lila's favorite food? Ivy said, having to think for a minute. She's been focused so much on herself lately, it was difficult to think of anyone else. At school, Lila's always really excited for pizza day, said Ivy finally. Great, let's run to the store for some ingredients, said her mom. You're going to help me make pizza. Ivy definitely wanted to help her friend, but she also wanted to think up some new ideas for her party. Her mom stood by the door and Ivy knew the right thing to do. She grabbed her coat and walked out the door, but she still couldn't help but think of herself and her party. Once at the store, Ivy walked up and down the aisles with her mom collecting ingredients to make homemade pizza. We should make pizza for my party, said Ivy out of nowhere. No, wait. Everyone could make their own personal pizza. That would be even better. We could turn the kitchen into a pizzeria and... But before Ivy could finish talking about her grand pizza party, her mom interrupted her. Ivy, this isn't about you right now. We're getting food for Lyla and her family because it's the right thing to do and they need our help, said Ivy's mom. Please focus on what's truly important right now. Thank you. And with that, Ivy's mom walked ahead to grab some mozzarella cheese. Ivy didn't like the way she felt at that moment. She was only thinking of herself and her birthday party. She couldn't believe it had taken her so long to even notice that Lyla wasn't in school. She should have reached out sooner. But instead of feeling bad about the things she couldn't change, Ivy decided to take action and be the best friend she could be to Lyla right then. So moving forward, Ivy stopped talking about her birthday party and started to focus on Lyla and her family. Ivy explained this all to her mom and apologized for the way she'd been acting. She grabbed some olives, remembering those were Lyla's favorite pizza topping, and off they headed to the register. Once at home, Ivy worked along with Levi, her mom, and her dad to make the best pizza ever for Lyla and her family. When they were finished, she jumped in the car with her mom and headed over to drop them off. Ivy ran up and knocked on Lyla's door once they arrived. When her friend opened the door, she gave her a big hug. Ivy could tell that Lyla was very happy to see her. Lyla, it's so great to see you. I've missed you at school, said Ivy. I've missed you too, Ivy, replied Lyla, but then she got a little quiet. What's wrong? Ivy asked. Well, I kind of thought you forgot about me, Lyla began. I was out for so long, but I didn't hear from you at all. It made me sad. And when my mom said your mom called because you wanted to see me, it made me really happy. Ivy felt really good hearing Lyla say that, but was also sad that she made her friend feel bad in the first place. I'm so sorry I made you feel that way, Lyla, but I'm glad I can see you now, said Ivy. We made you pizza for dinner, all of your favorite. Lyla was super excited and asked Ivy and her mom to stay for dinner. Her mom said that it would be fine, and after they ate, Lyla and Ivy ran upstairs to her room to play while Ivy's mom helped Lyla's mom with a few things around the house. The pizza was great. Thank you, Ivy, said Lyla. It's been tough with my mom not feeling her best. I've had to help out a lot because my dad isn't able to get time off of work. It was really nice of you to stop by, said Ivy. But as she was playing with Lyla, she saw a get well balloon in the hallway and it made her think about her birthday party. Ivy got super excited all over again and couldn't help but talk about it with Lyla. So are you excited about my party next Saturday? Asked Ivy. We're going to have so much cool stuff going on. Lyla's smile quickly turned into a frown and she stopped playing. Ivy asked what was wrong and Lyla told her. I can't make it to your party anymore, said Lyla. My dad will be gone all day for work next Saturday and I have to stay here and help my mom. I'm sorry, but my dad is taking next week off, so I'll be back at school, and then my grandmother isn't flying in next Sunday to stay with my mom for a couple of weeks. She should be good after that. Ivy didn't know what to say. Not having Lyla at her party would make her feel sad. She was one of her best friends, and she wanted her to be there to celebrate with. But very quickly, a new feeling washed over Ivy. This situation was not all about her. Lyla really wanted to go to her party and was really upset that she had to miss it. But maybe Ivy could fix that. Don't worry, I think I know a way that you can make it to my party, said Ivy as she ran into the living room where she asked her mom if she could talk with her. Mom, do you think we can switch my party to the Saturday after next week? Asked Ivy. We could, but we've already made a lot of plans already. I'll have to cancel the bounce house and the pony rides. Those things are all booked up now, so we wouldn't be able to have them at the party on your new day, said her mom. Why do you want to change the date all of a sudden? Because Lyla can't make it, and I really want her there, said Ivy. I don't need all that stuff to make my party great. It's like you and Levi said. The really only important thing is that my friends are together, everyone's happy, and everyone is having a good time. That is such a lovely thing for you to do, Ivy, said her mom, giving her a hug. I wouldn't be happy at the party knowing that Lyla was upset at home, said Ivy. It just wouldn't be as much fun without her. Ivy's mom agreed to switching the date, and Ivy ran back to tell Lyla. Ivy, I can't believe you did that for me. Thank you, said Lyla. You've been super duper excited about your party all month. You're really sure you want to wait another week? And what about all the stuff you already ordered, like the bounce house? Can they reschedule? They can't, Lyla, but it's okay. I'd rather you be there than some silly bounce house, replied Ivy. We'll have an amazing time at my party no matter when it is and no matter what things we do when we're there. The most important thing is we'll be together and I know we'll have fun. Just before she left, Lyla thanked Ivy again. I'm so excited for your party and I know it will be the best time ever, said Lyla. Ivy said goodbye to her friend, and she said she would stop over tomorrow to see if she needed anything. For the rest of the night and for the rest of the weekend, Ivy didn't talk about her birthday party at all. When Lyla returned to school on Monday, they played together, having the most fun without one word about bounce houses, giant chocolate fountains, or mini personal pizzas. When Ivy got home from school that day, her mom had a special snack waiting for her. Yum! Homemade chocolate chip cookies? What are these for? Asked Ivy. A special treat for my special kiddo, said her mom. I know I told you a bunch of times already, but I'm really proud of the way you acted with Lyla. Switching your party showed you have a good heart, and I know it meant a lot to Lyla. Thank you, Mommy, said Ivy as she nibbled on a cookie. You learned an important lesson that day, began her mom. The most important thing in life is happiness. Your happiness and the happiness of those around you. And sometimes doing the right thing isn't always the easy or fun choice, but it's always the right choice. And you made the right choice by changing the date of your party to include Lyla, even if it meant not having the giant party you had been planning. Ivy's mom gave her daughter a huge hug and sat down with her to enjoy a cookie. Ivy never forgot the words her mom shared with her that day or her birthday party that year. It was the best one ever. From that day on, Ivy always thought of others before herself and strived to make the right choice, even if it wasn't always the easy choice. Thanks for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the story and learned a little something too.
And since we know everyone has their own story, we'd love to hear yours.
If you have an idea for a Lively Lewis story, leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, your idea, and your little one's name.
Then maybe our next adventure will be with you.
Until our next Storytime Hangout.
Thanks for listening. We can't wait to share another fun Lively Lewis story with you.